within their project team to determine assignments, deadlines, standards, and priorities. Project managers must negotiate prices and standards with vendors and suppliers. A firm understanding of the negotiating process, skills, and tactics is essential to project success. Many people approach negotiating as if it is a competitive contest. Each negotiator is out to win as much as he or she can for his or her side. Success is measured by how much is gained compared with the other party. While this may be applicable when negotiating the sale of a house, it is not true for project management. So project management is not a contest. Okay. Now, uh, let's talk about some of the principal negotiations. The first one is separate the people from the problem. Too often, personal relations become entangled with the substantive issues under consideration. Instead of attacking the problems, people attack each other. Once people feel attacked or threatened, their energy naturally goes to defending themselves and not to solving the problem. The key then is to focus on the problem, not on the other person during the negotiation. Avoid personalizing the negotiation and framing the negotiation as a contest. So instead, try to keep the focus on the problem to be resolved. The second one is focus on interests. So the key here is to focus on the interest behind your positions uh, and separate these goals from your ego as best as you can. So not only should you be driven by your interest, but you should try to identify um, the interests of the other party. Ask why it will cost so much or why it can't be done by Monday. At the same time, make your own interests come alive. Don't just say that it is critical that it be done by Monday. Explain what will happen if it is not done by Monday. Okay. So the third one is invent options for mutual gain. Once the individuals involved have identified their interests, then they can explore options for mutual gain. This is not easy. Stressful negotiations inhibit creativity and free exchange. What is required is collaborative brainstorming in which people work together to solve the problem in a way that will lead to a win-win scenario. The key to brainstorming is separating the inventing from the deciding. Begin by taking 15 minutes to generate as many options as possible. No matter how outlandish any option is, it should not be subject to criticism or immediate rejection. People should feed off the ideas of others to generate new ideas. When all the possible options are exhausted, then sort through the ideas that were generated to focus on those with the greatest possibilities. And the last one is, when possible, use objective criteria. Most established industries and professions have developed standards and rules to help deal with common areas of dispute. Both buyers and sellers rely on the blue book to establish price parameters for a used car. Okay, so whenever possible, you should insist on using external objective criteria to settle disagreements. Dealing with the unreasonable people. If pushed, don't push back. Ask questions instead of making statements. And you should use a silence as a response to the unreasonable demands. And ask for advice and encourage others to criticize your ideas and positions. Use Fisher and Urey's best alternative to a negotiated agreement, BATNA concept to work toward a win-win scenario. Now, let's talk about managing the customer relations. So customer satisfaction is very important. It is one of the most important requirement for any particular project. The negative effect of dissatisfied customers on a firm's reputation is far greater than the positive effect of satisfied customers. Every customer has a unique set of performance expectations and met performance perceptions. Satisfaction is a perceptual relationship like perceived performance or the accepted performance. Project managers must be skilled at managing both customer expectation and perceptions. Now let's talk about the met expectations model of customer satisfaction. So you can see here that when the performance falls short of expectations, like the ratio is less than 1, the customer is dissatisfied. If the performance matches expectation, which is ratio is equal to 1, then the customer is satisfied. And if the performance exceeds 1 expectations, which is greater than 1, then the customer is very satisfied or even delighted. Now, managing the customer relationship, we would continue it here, like managing customers' expectations. How to manage the customer expectations, we will discuss it here. Okay, don't oversell the project. Better to undersell. Develop a well-defined project scope statement. Share significant problems and risks. Keep everyone informed about the project's progress. Involve customers early in decisions about the project development changes. Handle the customer relationships and problems in an expeditious, competent, and professional manner. Speak with one voice and speak the language of the customer. Okay, now let's talk about the project roles, challenges, and strategies. So this table actually shows the project manager role as an entrepreneur, as a politician, as a friend, as a marketer, and as a coach. And in front of each role, we can see the challenges and the strategy that we can use to overcome that particular challenge. So this is your homework. You can read it at your home. Till then, thank you so much, and that's the end of the lecture.